Yes, Coffee Conversations with Greg J is on. Y'all all right? Tech gremlins running around the studio here. Call the exterminator after this show. That's what's going on, world of tech. It's a beautiful thing that we're able to come together through technology and be able to build bridges, make communities stronger, and make sure that everybody has, access to the internet, that everybody is communicating and expressing ideas through this technology. It's nation building time in our space these days. Just look around, look at the news. You saw what's going on these last couple of years has been a heck of a illumination for our community. And I think that as we begin to, reflect inward, we begin to see the need to build bridges, to see the need to link up, to see the need to exchange ideas and promote culture all day long. That's what we got to do, right? Happy Tuesday. Grammy Awards were on Sunday. What'd you think? Was it good? Huh? John Baptiste walking away with 5, Grammy Awards. We're going to try to get him on here because, I was listening to him today talk about his role in the, he's writing a symphony, and I guess he's getting ready to perform it at Carnegie Hall. And as you all know, we've got this underlying current. We were trying to say it was a special series. And as I looked across our library, we speak about the creative economy quite a bit. Of course, we're involved in the arts and culture in a very up to our follicles in it, And that means, that we're always talking about arts and culture, promoting arts and culture. And I was really glad to hear him talk about one of our lines of focus, and that is Blacks in classical music. And he began to chat about that in an interview I saw of him today, and talk about his vision for intersecting with all different types of music. Same in the area of performing arts, and hence, our guest, she returns to sip coffee with us here at Coffee Conversations with Greg J. Last time I saw her, we was in Accra, Ghana. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, she is the executive director of the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, but really she is a global arts advocate over there in Accra, building bridges of arts and culture. Toni Simmons-Henson, how are you?
I am awesome. How are you, Greg? I'm so happy you invited me to be on the show today. Thank you. It's always appreciated.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've been having this conversation about, the creative economy, and as cities, in my work at the Arts Council for Long Beach, we see the cities are preparing, or not preparing, but involved in recovery. It's been a heck of a 2 years fiscally. How do cities recover? How do they? And arts and culture, we're advocating that remains front of mind to the cities, as that generates, well-being for not only our community, but communities all over. And that aspect also goes globally. And, that's why I was so really glad to see you in Accra, Ghana, and knowing that you intersected with professional performing arts, organizations and entities over there. And, maybe you even return. I just see you like, oh man, this is great. Global arts community at work. first of all, tell the people a little bit about the Atlanta Black Theater Festival so that we can have some context, and then just jump in and tell us what is in your heart to build these bridges of creativity, arts, and culture with our brothers and sisters in Africa.
Oh man, that's a mouthful right there. That my response is definitely a fulfilled and passionate dream. I the Atlanta Black Theater Festival started. This is our 11th year. My sister and I brainstormed it after an inspiration that I got. Um, and I got four words, and that was after I had suffered a devastating loss from a business venture. I'm a serial entrepreneur and had lost everything, had to declare bankruptcy. And my husband planted the seed by saying, "You were really happy when you were producing theater." And I was like, wow. And then shortly after that, four words came to me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's Atlanta Black Theater Festival. So a few months later, I shared the vision with my sister, who Wanda Simmons, and we rolled up our sleeves and we put together what we know today as the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, having provided a platform for over 3,000 artists and over 145 playwrights. So it's an amazing journey. It hasn't been easy, but anything that's worth it is. Our struggle is even more important, that there is an enemy out there trying to erase our stories as we bring truth to the light of our history and our legacy and the contributions that we've made to this to the global society, not just the United States, but to the global society. Black and brown people are being discounted in Ukraine. They are being discounted in their own homeland, the motherland of Africa, and then across the diaspora. So I feel like there is a compelling call and passion to tell our stories, to say, no, you're not going to erase this history. It is too rich, it is too vibrant, and it is vital, not only vibrant, but it's vital to our survival. And Jesus told stories and he inspired people through parables. And he's the most famous storyteller in the world. I'm not Jesus, but I certainly am listening and heeding to the call. And I am one of many who are fighting to make sure that our stories are heard.
Isn't that something? I mean, amen and amen. We must tell our own stories. That's a mantra that we even have around here, with our film projects and our audio projects, everything. We've got to be about telling our story. Now, okay, so we were over there at Accra, Ghana. This is our first time. Look, we got to compare notes here. Okay. One word to describe your trip.
Oh, life changing,
Mm, mm,
transformative.
mhm,
That's two words.
mhm, mhm. And I know you went to Cape Coast and did the slave dungeons and all of that. Okay, yes, that's a whole nother show right there. 'Cause it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. We got some great video from it. I haven't released any of it because it's just this that walk is so deep, and okay, that portion of your trip, one word.
Again, transformative.
Mhm,
We were actually fortunate to bring a delegation of 34 artists and art enthusiasts with us. And it was just something that my husband and we had been to Ghana twice, three
mhm,
times.
mhm,
And then we decided that, we can't just not experience this. We have to share it. So we created a circle and just decided that we would extend it to our family and friends. And then it became so popular that we expanded it again, and we ended up canceling it in 2020
mhm,
and then vamping it again for last year. And then, so we ended up with 34 people, and the reaction to experience it through the eyes of others is such a privilege. To it's like experience a new birth or a rebirth of
Mhm.
some sort, where people who have gone for the who are in the motherland for the very first time, and we get to relive our first time through them. So in itself is just, like I said, a privilege and an honor to do. So when we got back in at the end of December, we said, you know what, this wasn't in the plan, but let's try and do it again. Let's see if people are interested in doing it again. So in January, we opened the doors to do it again for this coming December. And in 45 days, we sold out.
Wow.
We have 30 people. 30 people. We decided that we needed to scale back just a tad bit, and so we have 30 people signed up to take this journey again in December. So, Greg, Ghana has been such a blessing to us and so many others. I feel like Harriet Tubman, and I will keep going as long as people want to go. I will keep leading the way, experiencing and exploring what Ghana has to offer, and exposing it to as many people who want to learn and be exposed to it.
I feel exactly the same way. Now, when you intersected with the arts community there, tell me what that was like and what you hope to build on as you move forward.
Wow. Well, we developed a really strong relationship with the National Theater of Ghana. And so when we were there, we had a reception and we invited the arts community. So there were 100 people from the arts community that came together, and we talked about our desire to collaborate with the artists there. There were some really prominent game changers in the room, from film and television, magazines, print magazine, all walks and genres of the media, to highlight our visit and to so that we can formally introduce ourselves as an organization that's interested in collaboration, be it in the digital arts or the live performing arts. So Amy Apaya Frapong, she spoke. She's the executive director of the National Theater of Ghana, and they also provided us with it was a very posh reception at the five-star Movenpick Hotel, and then we walked across the street, and they gave us a private performance of their dance and theatrical troupe, so the house dance and theatrical troupe. So it was an amazing. It was jaw-dropping experience, and when we were leaving, Madam Amy walked up to me and she said, "I want to do more." And it was like music to my ears, because I had the same exact feeling. So we're in meetings and talks to do more. I don't know whether we're doing cross productions or artist exchanges. I'm not sure what we're going to end up doing, because funding is always an issue and a challenge, but I don't let it stop me, because I know if God's in it, He's going to provide. So,
Yeah, hence the epicenter of our talk today, and our theme is really examining, how do we preserve and promote our arts and culture, and direct funds and our funds available. I see some cheddar out there now, there's some resources on paper, and then what do we need to do is, how do we get our fair share of resources? Do you find, you know, just for sake of conversation, organizations like the National Endowment for the Arts, are they receptive to global arts and culture um, projects?
I can't speak to them because we've never received funding from them.
Mm,
Although what they do mainly is distribute to the state arts councils. So our state arts council is unfortunately in Georgia. So we've never received any funding, although we've applied. Uh,
It's a
we
sister now.
received
The new head is Afro Latina.
Yes, yes, and that's interesting. While everybody was making their declaration that they were going to do better, the Georgia Arts Council remained silent. So I'm still waiting for them to make a public declaration. And the last communication I got from them was, and I didn't even because it takes money and time to apply for these grants because they're
Yes,
very elaborate,
yes.
and rightly so because you're talking about taxpayer funded dollars.
Mhm.
So but when in the statement they made it very clear that the arts funding was limited, that had been scaled back, and what was going to be distributed was going to be very competitive. So at that point I was like, why should I even waste time and money and energy applying when they're already letting me know? And so I felt like the message was, you need not apply because
Mhm.
of their history. So, but we continue to move on. Like I
Mhm.
said, money has never stopped us from doing what we're doing. We're in our 11th year, and we received our first grant in 2020. And that was year 9. So we got money from the Black Seed, which is the Carnegie Mellon Foundation, the Carnegie Mellon Arts Fund, and then we've got money from the Community Foundation of Greater Atlanta. So
Mhm.
so far that's what we've been working with, and then the state the federal grant for shuttered venues. We were recipients of
Mhm.
those grants as well, and the EIDL. So we've been able to sustain ourselves and put ourselves in a very positive fiscal position as a result of individual donors and
Mhm.
support, people buying tickets, and we just really use smart business tactics to stay alive. We don't rely on grants. Grants are gravy for us. So,
Mhm.
but what
Mhm.
we rely on is the support from the community as well as ticket sales. So,
And that's what's really it's going to take. It's going to be, down to the community to help sustain our arts and culture organizations.
yes.
I was part of a pretty large church building project, right? And when we completed the cathedral, I was in a meeting and they remarked that it wasn't the big, organizations that really got it done. It was like mama coming through with some change every now and again. The
Yeah,
private donor is the one that really drives this whole thing. And
that's
I
so
think that
true.
if non-community focused nonprofits would really examine it, that individual donors is probably where your gravy, your meat of the matter, it really is, huh? So arts patrons, Now, what did you perceive on the African side? How are the arts supported? Because that theater there is, wow, what a fantastic venue in there in Accra. And so, to me, clearly on the outside looking in, government is seen, identified arts and culture as an essential service, for their community. How did you see? Did you discuss their challenges or what do they need in terms of the creative economy?
Well, they're really moving forward. From what I saw, I had a
Mm,
meeting with the new head of the newly formed creative agency, which is an arm of the Ministry of Arts, Culture, and Tourism. And that meeting was very productive. And
mm,
whenever you leave a meeting and the person says, "Wow, this was in divine order," you know it was a good meeting.
mhm, 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 mhm,
And so, what they're looking to do is utilize the creative economy to drive tourism, to drive, and they recognize that from the very
mhm,
beginning. I was very impressed actually with how the community advocates around the arts. It is cultural. It is a part
mhm,
of the cultural and the sustainability of their culture. So it's not anything to introduce, and I think because United States is a melting pot of different cultures, there's this I don't know, a dismissal. When you hear words like "I don't see color," and I'm like, "What? You got to be
Hmm.
kidding me!"
Hmm. Hmm.
I think that what comes with that is dismissal of our individual individuality.
Hmm.
Can't see that word, but individualism. But what we need to do is focus on celebrating culture, and I tell you, I'm going to surprise you. I am actually in Honduras.
Right now.
Yes, right now. I yes.
Dang. What?
And I am here, and I every moment is divine. When you emailed me, I said yes, I want to come on because I am here because it is African Heritage Month. And if you don't mind, can I take a moment to share why I'm here?
Let's go.
Okay. And don't forgive my reading because I'm learning this as I experience it.
Okay. Okay.
But on April 12th, which is in a few days, the Honduras people uh, are going to be celebrating Settlement Day. And this is where the people celebrate the arrival of the ancestors to Central America, specifically the island of Roatan, which is where I am. And this island is if for those who don't know, it's in the Caribbean, nestled between Belize and the mainland of Honduras, which is right next to Nicaragua, which is also right next to Guatemala, right, all right below Mexico. So I'm not too far from home. um, and they will celebrate the Garifuna were exiled from St. Vincent and the Grenadines after 100 years of conflict with the British. Eventually, they continued to migrate and establish more Garifuna communities on the mainland of Honduras. Guatemala, Belize, and Nicaragua uh, were also included in that celebration. Every April 12th, the community of Punta Gorda has a festival to commemorate the arrival of these indigenous people. And they have what they call Uramain, and it's the traditional march through the community. They have a boat parade, and then they have a reenactment of the Garifuna people to Roatan. So it is a food, drummer, singers. I cannot wait. I'm so excited to immerse myself in what will I anticipate to be an incredible experience. So I just wanted to share that.
No, that's really, really incredible. And let me just let you know that in Inglewood, there is a large Belizean and Garifuna population. And y'all in Inglewood, y'all know what I'm talking about, and they have a huge Garifuna festival that I know at one point in time we in the community we're trying to make sure that it was elevated even more because when you don't hear about it, right, except it's among them, but then you go and you're like, dang, I mean, it's just really, like you said, just the drums, the music, the food, and they all look like us. That's something. Wow, you're actually there at the epicenter.
I am trying to be at the epicenter of every arts and cultural festival. It has become an insatiable appetite for me to
Okay.
experience the arts and cult. Like you said, across. I want to be that global expert on arts and culture. And the best
Mhm.
way I can think of is to go and immerse myself in it. So I'm blessed to be
Mhm.
able to do that. I have a husband that supports that effort. So
All right, husband. That's right. Just stand up
yeah,
for the brothers. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good. 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 Wow. 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 Okay. So, what's the food? I'm trying to remember now. What's the food at this time down there?
Well, let
I'm
me tell you something.
also. I need to make sure we're including the culinary arts in this whole thing because I love to eat.
Well, Greg, you would absolutely love the food here. Of course, like Ghana, like every descendant of the African diaspora. The food is very flavorful. No
Hmm.
salt needed. Okay, start with that.
Right, right, right.
And not salty, just flavorful.
Mhm.
But they do a lot of fish.
A lot of fish.
May is like the season where lobster is very prevalent. They said they
Uh,
get large lobsters. So I'm not gonna be here May.
right.
Unfortunately, I love lobster, but red snapper. There's a yellow tuna fish, which is their kind of like the main one here. But the fish in the water, first of all, the water is so clear. If you get in up to your chest, you can look down and see your feet. It is
Wow.
like drinking water. It is the
Wow.
most beautiful beach I've ever seen in my life.
Mhm.
Clean, oh my gosh, just absolutely incredible and so healing and cathartic. Um, and then I felt something jump when I was in the water the other day, and I looked, and it was a school of fish just going by me. You cannot, but the fish are so plentiful here that they actually swim alongside you in
I
the
love it.
water waist high. So
Wow.
that's incredible in and of itself. So,
Sure.
but fish is definitely any seafood is a main staple.
Mhm.
And they do rice and peas, Greg, that will make your make you want to slap your Jamaican mama.
Ah,
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now, so the people there, they are descendants of the slave trade.
Yes. Lots
Hmm.
of brown and dark cocoa brown and
Hmm.
all the melanin.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
Everywhere.
All right, I know my buddy Jose Angel Castro is your folks. Honduras, come on, Honduras, come through. This good stuff. Okay, now what do we need to do as a community, as a Black community in America, to open our consciousness even the more to being global? A lot of times, our brothers and sisters are just not I learned about a new disease. It's not a new disease. It's a agoraphobia. I learned about it watching the news. So the brother he got really nervous, panic attack if he was more than a mile away from home. Agoraphobia. That's what it was. And I was really fascinated by this condition he's having. The whole news story was about how he went to the therapist and all this here, but in a very milder, setting, a lot of my brothers and sisters ain't trying to go to outside of the country, or they're just too nervous. What would you say to our brothers and sisters about the importance of being global in your consciousness?
Wow. You ask the best questions. That's why I love your show. I think, the only example I can give you is this. I have my aunt who has a fear of flying. And so I share a lot of my adventures. I travel a lot. And she has experienced vicariously through me the adventures that I have been so privileged to be able to participate. And about 2 weeks ago, she sent me a text picture of her application for her passport.
That's right.
And she is 70 years old. That was the most moving thing that I've ever seen, for me to be able to be used to inspire people to explore outside of the United States. Um, and that's what you have to do. I think you have to just get your passport. That's the first step.
Mhm.
And that sounds they may sound very basic and fundamental to some, but for many, surprisingly many people, I think they say like 30% of the people in the United States, or maybe even more, don't have a passport. Just start with getting your passport and then start checking the airfares and try to go places you would have never dreamed of, like the Honduras. I feel very safe here.
Mhm,
I don't go to the mainland. They say the mainland is can be dangerous,
mhm.
but it can't be more dangerous than a Lenox Mall in Atlanta, where they have a shootout. They had a shootout
Right? You'd be
the other
like,
month.
I'm from
Um,
LA. You know what you
yeah,
mean? Yeah.
but as a solo traveler, I don't that I I try to heed to certain warnings. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, so I'm not afraid of anything, but I am not stupid either.
Mhm, mhm,
So I'm very much aware of my surroundings. I stay in places where people are frequent, popular places where there's security. There is security everywhere in Roatan, but just being able to explore other and experience other cultures really broadens your horizon and appreciation for uh, where you are, who you are, and just to exchange ideas and thoughts and food and culture. It's just living a very rich life. I cannot explain it any other way than I'm feeling rich and full.
Rhonda Love, super producer Rhonda Love, if you could, I know when we went to Ghana, one of the, Rhonda Love's the research queen now. Okay, I'll let you know things are well researched around here. And she researched Ghana as we prepared for our trip and found that it ranked very, 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 very high on the national safety, global safety index. There's a whole number. Rhonda, when you hear this, hit if you're still listening, punch in the that rating that Ghana had. I think it was third place in the whole world, safest place to be. Something really extraordinary, right? And I think that when you're able to share with, you know, our people the safety factor, I think that they will. Once you get that past that, I think you can get them to go. I operate tours to South Africa. And there's two things. It's always about the money and what is the currency there and everything like that. And then their safety. They want to know, are they safe? Are they safe? Are they safe? And the currency is always a good consideration. Our money goes a long way in a lot of these nations. One exercise that I like to do with our travelers is I'll go to the website of one of the restaurants we're going to visit as a group, and we pull up the menu online, and I said, let's just order everything that top notch on the menu, and we calculate the entire bill, and then we translate it into American dollars. And then people are like, oh dang, we went in South Africa, the money is the rand, and it's the dollar is quite favorable against the rand, and so we went, the website, uh, several thousand rand of ordering we did as a group, and it came out to like $170, to feed all of us. It was good.
Yeah.
There is Ghana. Rhonda saying Ghana is number 38 on the Global Peace Index and number
Wow.
one in Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there it is. So we felt very, very safe there. And we felt, COVID, when we were there, Tony, remember the Omicron virus was happening, and it was kind of scary, right? and um, but when we were there, did you get the sense of panic and intensity that you have here in America?
Not at all.
Right.
Actually, it was interesting because I had a couple conversations with people who really didn't believe that the pandemic was happening.
Hmm.
And they said, no, it's a hoax. It's by
Hmm.
government. They just want our money. So they
Hmm.
have the same, they have some of the same what is it called? Bias against government that we
Hmm.
have, what we share here. But I was able to assure them that it is definitely real.
Hmm.
But they have like 1.5 per million deaths, where the United States had like almost 3,000 per million deaths.
Mhm,
So the death rate for them was like a rare disease for
mhm.
us. So yeah, I felt safer there because they were taking more precautions, even though their death rate was very low. And I
I
think that's
mean,
probably contributed to the low death rate. I felt like, we had to wash our hands, we had to get our
wait a
temperature
minute.
checked, we had to
The
wear
moment
masks.
the security guy is like, oh,
Yeah.
no, no. They
Yes,
were on it, doggone it.
they
Yes,
were on
yes,
it.
yes. Yeah, and, and it was so funny because we noticed that when then when we the minute we landed back, it was like, oh, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
It was a lot. Yeah, yeah. All right, so now let me ask you. So when you're intersected with the National Theater and the top, the creme de la creme of arts and culture, what is the biggest challenge for them on that side that you were able to determine?
Oh yeah, yeah. Funding is
Mm,
always the same. No lack of talent, just funding and
mm,
funding support. But again, they're really understanding that arts and culture is definitely related to tourism, and that
mm,
tourism equals dollars. So once you can identify, I think New York is the best example of that. People go to New York to go to see Broadway shows,
mm,
and I think that when more cities globally understand and get that the creative economy is a real vibrant and and viable economy. If it just has to be identified and measured, and so but that's the challenge, just understanding that funding related or support is an investment in the well-being of the GDP for any country. Yeah,
mm.
absolutely.
That's why I say I relate it to, nation building. I mean, we're at a time now where, our particularly in the last 2 or 3 years, we're seeing what it is out here. The writing is very clear on the wall, and we have to do a better job of building community from within.
Hmm.
And what we really are doing here with Coffee Conversations with Greg J and our other platforms is we're really trying to encourage community to pay attention to this sector, support arts and culture. And we're using our relationships to intersect with cities and counties and where we're what they say, we have a seat at the table. So we try to make sure that we uh, circulate resources and information. But I think that as we're in this space of nation building, it's important for our particular audience to understand the importance of arts and culture and make sure that you support it. Go to the community theater, support Atlanta Black Theater Festival. All the stuff that's happening, Dream Creator Studio, Art Walk. Come on, man, we need your support out here so that we can grow. Because folks, y'all need no like to go out and see a good show. That's what we do. We like to see a good show, and so there it is. Good stuff.
I was getting ready to say it definitely is an even exchange, more than even exchange, for the
Yeah.
price of a ticket. You get a great evening out, entertainment, enlightenment. I agree with that, Greg.
Yes, yes. And then it's essential to building communities on the
Yeah.
macro level. Look at your city. The whole thing is if a city has a vibrant arts and culture segment, there are studies that show that this promotes tourism. Tourism is important to the life of a city. You need folks coming in from out of town and whatnot, and go to the restaurants and bars and hotels. A lot of cities make sure that the hotel tax, a percentage of that goes back to its arts and culture um, segments, and so you can see the cities are relying on arts and culture uh, for their vibrancy and the same bringing it down to our community. I think it's the same. We need to figure out, make sure, brothers and sisters, you're supporting arts and culture in your area. Yeah. Mhm, mhm. And all right. So now, what's the future? Because we're going to Ghana in December too. I need to connect with you here and we'd make that thing happen. what can we do? Well, how can we bring our brothers and sisters are like in the Grammys? So with the other day we had Thornell Jones, who's been to Africa with me a few times, and we've done quite a few cultural exchanges. But he's hopefully will be on the board of governors in the Florida Recording Academy chapter, and has been very influential in the music industry. We have, of course, yourself, Atlanta Black Theater Festival. We have Brother Babu with Pan African Film Festival. How can we all go together and what's a give me the tenets of a good business plan as we hit up the continent of Africa?
Wow, that's a great question again. We are in the beginning stages, very, very preliminary stages of developing the World Creative Arts Conference, which was going to be in person, but looks like it will not. It looks like it'll be online, a virtual conference. And so we're going to answer that question, or we're in the, and I would love for you to be a part of that planning, Greg. But we're looking at putting together speakers to answer questions just like that, and it is targeted for January 2023. So I'm announcing it publicly first on your show.
All right, that's right.
But we've already established a website. It hasn't been published yet, but it's called the creativeartsconference.com.
Mhm, mhm,
And it'll be published in the next few weeks. But we're going to look at that. And this is off the heels of the United Nations declaring the 2021 Creative Arts, the year of the creative arts economy.
mhm,
And what they're trying to do is encourage emerging countries, emerging markets to look at the viability of the arts as a creative economy, because everybody has a human resource, the organic human resource, and that is talent. That
mhm,
is in everybody's. If you, even if you're not rich with minerals and oil and natural resources like the continent of Africa, what you do have, every country has talent. So to be able to cultivate that into an economic product, and to contribute to the economy of that world is what I think the United Nations is trying to help bring attention to. So we're going to do our part.
all right, you know what? I'm gonna try to put this up right here. I think this is it. Let's see. I want to give a United Nations usually gives a link to their different, years and whatnot. So I'm trying to find that so that we can put that up and people can study it and everything. But you can notice if the United Nations is involved, then certainly, sustainable development is at the forefront of their mindset. A global peace through arts and culture. That's a beautiful thing. Mhm,
Absolutely. I agree. I
mhm.
definitely agree.
Yeah. Okay, here it goes. Okay, I'm gonna put this in, y'all. It says so 2020. Oh, that was 2021 is the UN
2021.
year of creative economy. What is
Yeah.
the impact? There's an article. I'm gonna put that in the chat. And
Awesome.
then maybe later on, if I could dig a little deeper, we'll find some more information and we'll put it out there somewhere so you can really, really look at it. This is really, really, really important. Like this report says, is asking the question, what's the impact of global attention on creative economy? I'll turn that question to you there, Tony.
Oh, it's peace.
Hmm.
Art is peace. Art is healing. It's mental health. It's physical health. It's unity. It's cohesiveness. It's intertwining and building community. It's so much. I've learned so much being involved in the arts. It's compassion. It's empathy. It reminds us we're human.
It surely, most certainly does. Tony, while we're in Ghana, I mean, okay, one of the things about arts and culture for me, my center is music. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, but I also was on a Zoom talk from they were in Georgetown University, if I recall, and the lady was talking about, you know, journalism and media and all of that. And I learned that I am a narrative artist. And I was like, wow, okay. So now in my arts and culture spaces, when they say, well, what's your art? I say, I'm a narrative artist. You
I
know,
like that.
that's right. That's right. So good. But let me ask you, so one thing that I noticed immediately, and I'm not, now I'm just going to have fun with it. Okay. So we have all of these, and this is not a diss, it's an observation. Okay. I'm going to put that disclaimer. So, a lot of our African drum groups here in the States, and you go down to Lebert Park and this is the drum circle. You go over down here to the beach in Long Beach, California. You see the brothers in the drum circle. You know, well, when I was in Ghana, drums hit different. Drums hit different over there. It's a whole another level of or two of intensity. No offense, but did you like the purity of the drum, right? Um, did you notice that? Do you notice that, like in our Africa and maybe even Central America, the drums hit different?
It's interesting that I didn't pick up until you said it. But absolutely, yeah, it does. It is something different. There is something different in the drums when you hear drummers in Africa. Maybe it's about craft. I don't know. I don't know. That was good observation. I'm gonna listen more closely. But I know that when I heard drumming in Africa, this is what I know for sure. I felt there was a penetrable healing taking place.
Mhm, mhm.
And I kind of put that in the context of the atmosphere and thought of it, well, I'm in Africa and this is the motherland and all of that. And, but there was a spiritual connection that was made.
Yes,
And I
yes.
did sense that. Now, when I go to the ceremony here, I'll look to see if I feel that same way. When I'm in the United States and I hear drumming, so I don't know, if whether it's because it was in context because I was in the motherland, but I'm going to pay more attention to that. That's a interesting observation.
Well, let me take you one step deeper. All right. So, as we began to talk about, arts and culture as, a lead into peace, a instrument of peace and humanity and human connectivity, right? So Sunday, I was at the Cambodian New Year parade.
I love it.
So I'm there now. I'm going to tell the story in context of the reflection where I am. It was a very rich cultural experience. Long Beach, California has the largest Cambodian community outside of Cambodia. There's a
Wow.
very big history there. There's Cambodia Town. There's also a palpable strain between the African American community and the Cambodian community. And when I came to the parade, I experienced that firsthand.
Mm,
They are, I just say, in hate with us, is
mm,
what I saw based on one person. It was only one person, but I'm just saying that person happened to be representative of the community. And anyway, but that's a whole nother story. But as I went through that, my spirit was really upset. It just messed up my experience of coming to join my colleagues to be inside in this, this New Year. We were in the parade. This is the New Year's Cambodian New Year parade. And as I reflected and tried to get my spirit back balanced, I was listening to the music, the Cambodian music. I'll always tune in when I go to these different countries. I want to hear the music. Now, what y'all working with there? And let me just tell you, Tony, the guy came. He apparently was very popular in the Cambodian community because the women were going crazy. Okay, but whatever he was singing about in his language, that song was banging to the bone. The drum beat was. I was like, "Oh, dude, yes, yes." It was really, really good. Then when I went into the festival at the end of the parade, I walked around, some food and checking out everybody, and the music I'm hearing, it's like, shoot, that beat is popping right there. I mean, it was really, really great. And so I just say the human connectivity on the
Mm,
spiritual level is inside the drum. You
mm,
see, and so
okay.
when we begin to have these community strifes, we can find the answer inside the arts and
Mm,
culture, inside music, because it's too much alike. You can't tell me you didn't hear the hip hop boom bap and whatever they were singing. I don't know what they were singing because I don't speak their language, but it
yeah.
was off the chain, And
Yeah.
so I think the
Wow.
similarities are there through the drum, and it all comes from Africa. Yeah.
It all stems from the cradle of civilization.
Wow. More alike than we are apart. Hmm. All right. So listen. Okay. So then now you have your trip all set. We are we want to also organize a small group to come around the same time. I just need the dates when we get offline. Can you talk about you give me the dates so we can align with you and see how many people we can get to come over there?
Awesome. Yeah. Well, two dates I want to make mention of. The Atlanta Black Theater Festival dates, of course, in Atlanta. Everybody
That's
descend on
next on the
Atlanta.
agenda. That's next on
Labor
the agenda.
d- it's not on the agenda.
I said that's next on the agenda.
My
Come
bad.
on.
My
No,
bad.
no,
Okay, I'll wait.
no,
I'll
no, go
wait.
right in. You're right there.
But we'll be in Ghana December the 2nd through the 10th. Those are the tour dates, and that's where we're offering the daily tour. A lot of people are going in early or staying late, but our tour dates are December 2nd to the 10th.
Mhm.
So yeah, we definitely want to. If you want to connect our groups, we certainly will welcome. It's more the merrier. The more to the
Right.
party, the merrier.
Now
Yeah.
you have your tour guides and everything down there already.
Yeah, we're
Done.
gonna go with the same phenomenal ones we had last year. They
Mhm.
were just incredible. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. All right, I got a guy. So, yes, yes. All right, now, okay, so the Atlanta Black Theater Festival is when?
It's Labor Day weekend. I'm this year we normally are in the beginning of October, but we wanted people. What we found out is over the years we always conflicted with some HBCU homecoming, and we didn't want to do that anymore. So
Mhm.
we are now Labor Day weekend. So Atlanta is a fantastic place to be Labor Day weekend. So we'll be at the Southwest Arts Center as well as the Kempton Overland Hotel, and the Airtropolis District. It's a newly formed district that they are developing just south of the airport.
Mhm.
So you won't even have to deal with Atlanta traffic. We'll be right on the outskirts near the airport. So it'll be lots of restaurants, good times, good people, and we have a rooftop party planned. We've got plays, a marathon of plays, an outdoor arts festival. So it's going to be off the charts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I might try to make that Labor Day weekend in Atlanta. I got a bunch of folks
Please.
down there in Atlanta too. I gotta let them know. Hopefully, hey Lula, you watching today? There you go. Make sure you go to the Atlanta Black Theater the film Black Theater Festival going
Yes.
on Labor Day weekend in Atlanta. I'm gonna come down there. Carl Bolton, Lula Bolton,
It's
calling
funny
them
that
out.
you say film because we will be doing some film screenings this year for the very first time. So
Mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. So you all listen. We're supporting Pan African Film Festival here. You know how that is. Ayuko Babu Film and Arts Festival is what that is, and lots of culture there. Thousands of films from all over the diaspora. That's happening soon. Sorry, I don't have the dates in front of me, but I'm gonna put their website in there. Then Labor Day weekend, end of summer, let's roll on down to Atlanta for the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. Essence Festival is coming back. Long Beach Jazz Festival is coming back. What? We're coming back, y'all. Support arts and culture in your area. And we're trying to go to Africa. Man, this is a beautiful time for arts and culture.
Sounds rich. It
Yeah.
sounds sounds so fulfilling. It really does. Sounds fun and fulfilling.
Yeah, before we get out of here, Tony, I'm looking at your face. I forgot to ask you. I couldn't make your show because I had something else. But tell me, what when you came to LA, did you blow it out?
Oh, my show in LA. That was definitely I pushed beyond my comfort zone. Let's put
Uh-oh.
it like that. I'm a poet, but that's the first time I've ever done a full performance. I'd done
Mm.
some excerpts, spoken word in Paris and LA. I mean, not LA, I'm sorry, Ghana and Atlanta, um, in New York, but I've never done LA was great, groundbreaking for me. Let me just put it like this: I have a newfound respect for performing artists.
Ah,
It is not easy.
right.
It was hard. But thanks for asking. It went
Yeah.
well. You got to try. You got to push you know, push the envelope sometimes, and I did. I don't know if I'm ready to make it a career, but I certainly do respect performing artists.
You got to put it out there, though. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. The Bible says, "Eyes have not seen," so you gotta make it happen. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's it. It's really really good to have this, connection with you, Tony. I honor you. I really do want to come and
Mhm.
visit the Black Theater Festival. I want to travel and connect with you over in the motherland, and just let's keep advocating and building this arts and culture. It's our stuff, man. It's our culture. We've got to tell, like we said at the top, tell our own stories, and this is really really, really happening. You turned me on to a slave play last time you were on speaking with us here, and it came to LA, and I missed it. I missed it. I wanted to see it, and then when I went to go get my tickets, it was already gone.
Mm.
But what are you looking for now? What's the big Broadway play that you would recommend to all of us that you would like to see also?
Well, I was ready for your answer this time. I'm ready for your answer this time. We're actually headed to New York in May, my husband and I, for a weekend getaway, and we will be going to see For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Their Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough.
Wow.
Cannot wait.
Wow. Wow. Now, where's that going to be? What's the
That
play
is,
up there?
it's on Broadway. I'm not sure. I
Okay.
forget the theater, but it's on Broadway. It just opened this spring. They have the previews are running now. I believe they open next week, and then we'll be there in May for the show. So,
Hmm. That's a Hmm. Yes, that's a good one. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
into
yes.
Saki Shange.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, absolutely. Wow. Okay, that's Black Classics right there,
Yeah.
making it all happen. All right, we put the Atlanta Black Theater Festival.org in the chat. So if you want to connect and learn more about the Black Theater Festival, it's there for you. We put the dates of the Ghana trip in there. Let's see what else. Any last things that we want to say to the people?
Everything can be found on our website. So if you want to connect with us, please do. We're family. We love hearing from you. Greg, you are amazing. I am so glad
Oh,
that we met and we got to see each other in the motherland.
we
Let's stay
did.
connected. Good people, good energy, and much, much love.
Much love to you, Tony. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll be in contact really, really soon here. There it is. We're talking about that creative economy from a global perspective. Come on, Black people, support us. Be about get your passport. That's the other thing. Get your passport. That's you heard Tony say, get your passport now. Get it going, and open your hearts to the whole diaspora. That's what's up. Everybody trying to go to Europe and all that there. And, that's cool. But, we got some places too. yeah.
Well, Black
Uh,
people are everywhere. They're
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yes, yes. Good, good stuff. All right, y'all. If you missed this, this is on our page, Coffee Conversations with Greg J. It'll be repurposed audio wise here later on today. We'll put it out there as a podcast. So wherever you get your favorite podcast, you know, we're there. iHeart, Spreaker, Google, all the big boys carry us, Apple, all of them. Just Coffee Conversations with Greg J. You'll find it. Give us a listen. You know, and if you go over on YouTube to see this, we're trying to, you know, uplift our YouTube game. We're a little weak in that area. So if you please would like and subscribe that channel, it'll be great. It'll help our algorithms and everything. We are in the back office tinkering around and pushing on that frontier. We know that technology is here. There's a lot of ways you can get your information, and certainly there's a cajillion, you know, podcast and digital media. I'm not Roland Martin, but I got look. I'm doing something over here too now, you know. But you know, you're getting your latest news, arts, and culture from a decidedly African perspective. We are global, but we're also local. We're local, but we're also global, and that's what's up. All right, y'all. Remember, love one another. Love one another. Love one another. Peace and